What's up, everyone? This is Monday, August 17th. This is the trade recap for today. I ended up break even on the day. Actually lost a little bit of money, but wasn't a huge loss today. I'm going to go through my trades, though, and kind of explain what I was thinking here and what my trade was, show you where I entered and stuff. So this will be a trade recap for Monday, August 17th. And today was a little bit different. I'm trying out a newer strategy to me. I've been trading it for a few weeks, but still same applies as always. I'm looking for 1 hour and 4 hour highs and lows, or because today is a Monday, we have a new week opening gap, which is what I have marked out right here. So this purple box is the new week opening gap, which was my target for today. And so if you see here, we've obviously gone way past it. I took this trade during market open. It's now 1:36 p.m. So it's been a couple hours, but I'm going to go over my trade and the reason I took it. So firstly, we manipulated higher off market open, and then I was waiting for a 1 minute inverse fair value gap to the downside because I wanted to target this 4 hour new week opening gap, which is this purple box here. And you can see price action was terrible today. We had no news at all, and it is a Monday, so typically we see less volume on these days. But what happened was, as soon as we inversed this 1 minute gap, I wanted to enter off the close of the next candle. So you guys can see here, we had a huge black candle. I tried to get filled a little early, which would have been somewhere around here, like this 211 area. But when I clicked enter or to sell, it was loading for like 10 seconds, and I got filled like at the bottom of the wick, which sucked because then my RR was less than a 1-to-1. It was a 0.69, which is not good. I always at least want to be at least at a 1-to-1, and I would have been if I would have got filled up here. We would have been at just a 1-to-1, and I was targeting this new week opening gap. You can see we pushed down, we kept chopping around, and then as soon as we filled this gap just partially, I moved my stops to break even, which were here, and then. Well, actually, it wasn't quite break even. I took a small L because I'll show you where it was. So on the this is the 5 minute time frame. You can see right here, there's a 5 minute gap. This little one. We inversed this 5 minute gap to the upside, and that's where I was like, okay, this thing's probably gonna run because we already filled partially of the new week opening gap. So I was like, okay, this is probably going to run to these 5 minute highs. And so I cut my loss there. I ended up losing about $350 across 5 accounts. But then as soon as I did that, it dumped and it would have hit full TP. That's just how it goes though. And then the rest of the day was just kind of choppy. We had a little bit of motion during New York lunch. It looked like it dumped off a bit, but that was my only trade today. I'll be back on the charts for Asia tonight, and then obviously for New York session tomorrow. So make sure to tune in there.